You've been named as one of the number one mega teams in California by Real Trends. You're dominating a lot of what we're doing at EXP for the national rankings. And beyond sales, you are a social media expert. You're a tech innovator.
And when COVID kicked in March, I brought a lot of value. I got to be on like around 34 different masterminds on Zoom. And then I was like, hey, I can do this. I would say don't grow for the sake of growing. And because I haven't been in a cycle before, so I've got hit pretty hard. I opened up 5 offices 2 years ago because I was like, oh, we're going to get 600 agents. Probably like 240 in a year. Why wouldn't we just bring in 300 next year? Easy.
Hey, hold up. Before we get back to the episode, make sure you like and follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It means the world to us. And don't forget to turn on that little notification bell so that you get an alert every single time we drop a new episode. If you want to really go hardcore, go binge some of our past episodes, and please leave a 5-star review. All right, back to the episode. Welcome to Real Estate Untucked. Today we've got amazing Kenny. I am so glad you are here, aka Fast hashtag the Fast Agent. Right? You guys are crushing it. You are the founder of Fast Real Estate, brokered by EXP. Kenny, you have built one of the most powerful real estate teams in California. I'm sure you are tired of being on podcasts because everybody wants to know what the heck is in your brain. You have scaled from just 11 agents right in 2020, I think, to over 200 today, which is insane. You've been named as one of the number one mega teams in California by Real Trends. You're dominating a lot of what we're doing at EXP for the national rankings. And beyond sales, you are a social media expert. You're a tech innovator, one of the top coaches for the real estate agents looking for leverage, digital marketing, how to be more effective and efficient, right? All the tools. And today we're going to dive into like how you have built what you've done, right? The tech tools you swear by, and the secrets to really growing your teams. It's pretty, I'm excited. The best thing about having a podcast is I just get to hang out with cool people and asking questions. So, if nobody listens to this in the entire world, I'm just glad to be here. So seriously, like, and I'll say one more thing and I'll let Brad, take it away. But dude, thank you for giving back. Like you've done a lot of great things. And from, you and I don't know each other well, but from afar, man, I appreciate you continuing to give back to not just the EXP community, but the real estate community, because I'm sure you have other things to do, right? But like you continue to like show up and share and do the stuff. So just from all of us out here in the ether, thank you for that. And I'm excited to pick your brain a little bit, man. It's pretty cool.
I'm just glad to know Kenny has a real last name because I've always known him as Kenny Fast. That's how everybody introduced. That's when you know your brand supersedes you, right? So I'm glad. I was like, man, I know Kenny Fast. Well, obviously I didn't. So, but yeah, let's just again, we have finite time with you. You've been very gracious with it. So we're going to hit fast and hard. What made you want to go from 20 agents to 200, Kenny? Like because some people see that as a huge headache. Some see it as a huge opportunity. How did you view it?
I did my 3rd iteration doing a team. I've done it one time at East Brokerage. And when I came over to EXP during January 2020, it was COVID year. We came over because my previous company shut down. So I brought over 10 people, 11 people in January. And when COVID kicked in March, I brought a lot of value. I got to be on like around 34 different masterminds on Zoom. And then I was like, hey, I can do this. I ended up hosting out 34. Every single recording is on YouTube to this day too. So I hosted like the 20 top agents by market, this county, that county, tech startups, innovation, household, and just different topics. And during that time when people were stuck on the screens, people kept on reaching out to me because we were actually still doing business. We were kind of not 100% following the rules because good thing I had my own office at a very expensive, but then I came over to my new brokerage because it was cheap. But then I had this like crazy waterfront view, minutes from where I live, like a 300 square feet space for like $6,000, but we were falling out from all the money we were saving. And we were able to use that office when managers was like, essential workers don't go out there, stay home, stop working for a while. Like we were still kind of grinding and a lot of people were getting information from that. So between like June to September, I went from like 17 team members to like 80, and the following January, 110. So it wasn't like something we sought out to do with a big plan. In fact, I went to Tom Ferry Success Summit the year prior and I wrote in my book, my big audacious goal will one day have a $200 million team with 30 agents. Because I did 88 transactions. I did like 56 million that year. I was like, if I could 4x my business, it would be insane. But we kind of rode the wave of this. heard never waste a good pandemic. So we definitely maximize that and we continue to grow. At one point, we almost had 400 agents 2 years ago. But, we're constantly not trying to grow for the sake of growing, but we're trying to see how we can empower agents in our market and give them a fun home to, do their business at.
Yeah. So that 200 million, if you're willing to share, that was your goal. I have a feeling you're well past. Like, what are y'all doing now? Or what do you hope to do this year?
I think we did 560 million last year, which is 3% prior. Like we did 580 the year before and 760 this year. I mean, we were on a rise where we had more units than we did the prior year from August all the way to January, but February and March is not looking as good. So it's really unpredictable. My original goal set out, if we continue in early January, was to increase our business by 20%. It could still happen. It's just, this market is just really unpredictable.
Yeah. Well, you're also in the Bay Area, right? Because like, I feel like the Bay Area is always unpredictable with all the tech, everything that goes in and comes out. I feel like everybody's leaving and coming at the same time.
We swing the hardest, looking at Redfin articles and like, we're top 10 fastest markets, Oakland, San Jose, top 10 slowest market, San Jose, Oakland. Now San Jose is like way up high. Other markets are super slow. With the AI sector in the Silicon Valley, and that market is crazy booming. Rents are up 30-40%. Oakland rents are down like 10-15%. So we're down to 5 offices right now, but at one point we had 9 offices. So I'm looking at data from a lot of different markets, and every market is kind of doing its own thing. And even in a certain city, different neighborhoods and different prepped homes are doing it. So it's really hard to gauge, which makes it fun. I think that's why certain agents continue to do well in real estate, because you got to really pay attention to what's going on and not just be, have things happen to you.
For sure.
For you, I guess my question is like on the attraction side, what are the 3 most important things you're doing to attract agents, to bring them in?
Agents, a lot of agents we've had probably close to a dozen agents come back to our team last year. A lot of agents really lack community, want to be part of something, and they're willing to pay a little more to be a part of that, because real estate is pretty lonely. Because most, especially 40% of our agents don't use the office even once. And I think we're even more social office. So I imagine other brokerages and other teams, probably less than half the agents show up. So they want to feel connected. They want to be seen. So community, and then recognition is huge. I think recognition is retention. So we're always focused on how to recruit our own agents. How do we highlight them? And the other agents get FOMO. So you got to do things that make people want to be wish they were part of the community. We do a top producer dinner that people just say that that's one of my goal for years, to make it to one of the dinners. You just have to be a top 3 producer, units our volume for the month, and we do it quarterly. And then we have a Hustlers lunch. We recognize top activities. We do cocktails for converters. We do these social events. We had a really amazing award ceremony last week. Some agents at ESP make fun. I don't want the plaque. I don't want the rewards. Give me stocks. But if you're not at a high level yet, that piece of paper, or that digital JPEG from there's 2 of the local MLSs do it. I don't even know what the criteria. Your masters or platinum or something, and people go crazy for that. They want to be seen. So you don't know what makes people stay. It might not just be income, especially a lot of team members. They're not the breadwinner of the house. They kind of do this for fun, and we appreciate them just as much. Doing their 4 or 6 transactions a year, which is huge.
Yeah.
I got a question. I know Wayne's processing, but I got a question. So you said you have to continue to recruit your agents, which sounds like, you always got to date your wife. So with that comes the question of what are you doing to make 12 producers come back? Because obviously you're doing something incredibly right, because you've had to split up, but they still like you enough to, I guess, eat a lot of ego. We're a lot of egos in this business to come back. So what is your mindset?
The ego, it's a 2-way street for people to come back, right? When they leave, we don't make a big fuss out of it. I've had some complaints of Kenny doesn't care when we leave, but those people didn't come back. It's I also don't make a big fuss out of it. I don't talk crap. I don't burn the bridges. So when they leave, sure, hey, our doors are always open. When you want to come back one day, and continue to foster those relationships. Still invite them to events. Stay in touch with them on social media. We're a big social media team. I'm going to try not to talk too much about social media, but that's one of our biggest things. So you still maintain that relationship. You stay in touch with them, see how their business is doing once in a while. When they change brokerages, maybe tap in, hey, what happened with the last one? What they help you make this move? Over time, people, they miss something. We've had a couple agents just literally left within a month ago. I don't think either of them are coming back anytime soon. But they already said they missed home. Is way different where they're at. No agents are going, like, specific to them. They said agents aren't coming to the meetings. Like the team leader skipped the first meeting, so she was excited to be there. Yesterday, another agent in San Francisco that left our company for one of the bigger ones. But the agents in San Francisco are really pretentious. No one's really collaborative. We kind of miss that dynamic. And this guy didn't really plug in that much with us. I see him like twice a year. But just the knowing and the feeling of, it's like family and long-term friends, right? You might not see them all the time, but they're there for you. So a lot of agents really just want to be a part of something.
That's so cool.
So you're
what?
Fine, Wayne. Finally, thank you. Welcome to the conversation.
I'm just trying to get in. No, it's good. So I would love to, like, what is your social media formula? Do you teach your agents?
For what's the last part?
The social media formula, because you guys said you're big on social, you're doing all that. Like, what's the formula or the rhythm you teach them to?
I think you change over time. So our company slogan is "Be you but fast." You can take that however you want, because every agent has a different perspective on that. We dumped our mission statements and core value. We really focus on, for me, when I created the terms like be yourself, you hear people on stage, be authentic, be yourself. Everyone doesn't even like you, something like that. So we really focus on having agents be really authentic, because if they're authentic and they show up and they're happy in the company where they're not being judged. We're in California, it's very liberal too. So people can just really be themselves, do whatever they want. I can identify as a soda can if I want. So
I love it.
We really encourage people to be in a place where they're happy, because if they are, then they don't care what other people think. They can do their job. They bring more energy to the table. And the be fast part is, here, adopt all the tools and stuff we do. You even come to this company to be like Kenny. You be yourself, but this is tools that Team Fast provides that you kind of do. And then if you look at our Instagram page, the Fast Agents, there's no listings on there. There's no reveals. There's no sales. It's all like a lifestyle page of our team. It shows our events, our culture, the energy, highlights, just like fun stuff all the time. Some trends on it. So our company, our team is more like, we try to be like a white label. We're here. And then in fact, out of our top 50 agents, more than 90% of our agents do not use our logo. You don't see a Fast Real Estate or Team Fast logo on it, which sounds really strange. But we had 90% retention of our top agents last year. So we try to be behind the scenes, build a hub for them. We're not like Sotheby's. Sotheby's is a great company. A lot of Sotheby's agents are like, we're with Sotheby's. You should hire us for luxury. Great. But for us, like Fast Real Estate was never meant to, when I originally built it, it was never meant to be, I don't think a consumer will be like, oh, I want to work with Fast Real Estate because I sell a lot of homes. They hire the agent. You hear that a lot. That's why independent brands are so important. Personal brands are so important. So we want to be the backbone and the back support for the agents while they grow their own brand. We don't mind being out of the limelight, but new agents use our brand a lot. They like it. It's good for attraction.
So I hear a lot when you have, a couple hundred agents like that. How do you keep, and not to use culture, but like what have you found to be a good structure? Because you can't have 200 direct reports, right? And I know the direct report's not really the right term either, but have you found team captains and like managers? Like how are you doing that to make sure you get that across?
We did like squads for a while where you break up into groups, and it was like specific to our online leads teams. No, we're currently right now we do like on my director of sales, Elias. He does group coaching 8:30, 9:30, 3 times a week. It's really well attended. Like 56 people show up. They get really vulnerable. They talk deeply about the problems. They cry, they laugh, all that. So it's like, I haven't seen that before online. Then we have our team meetings once a week. We do a lot of workshops and trainings in person. And then we've done like traveling masterminds. We have really amazing end of year party. We do other holiday parties. So we're constantly getting people in front of people. And a quarter of our transactions are between 2 agents. So that's really helps with the collaboration, because in our market, we're in the Bay Area. A lot of agents don't do business 25 minutes away, because every market is so different. Even 20 minutes away, it sounds weird. Like I can't get agents to go to my next office 20 minutes away. It's not like Southern California or some of the larger markets or rural area where driving the hour is normal. A 20-minute drive can easily be 80 minutes. Today, I have a lot of driving to do, because I'm speaking on some panels today and tomorrow. But yeah, so 20 minutes become 80-minute drive, so people don't travel far. But on our team, because they can partner with agents in their different offices, now they create relationships where you can just kind of think how that works.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's fantastic.
Well, all right. So, did you have a question, Brad, or can I just jump in?
No, I'd like for you to participate. Thank you. Come on.
Okay, perfect. All right. So Kenny, here's what I want to know. 2 questions. First off, I want to know, what do you wish you got asked more when you were being interviewed? So I know you've done a lot of interviews, a lot of things. Like, what do you wish you were asked more about?
I think what things to avoid, we have went through a lot of mistakes growing this company over the years and spent a lot of money. I would say don't grow for the sake of growing. And because I haven't been in a cycle before, so I've got hit pretty hard. I opened up 5 offices 2 years ago because I was like, oh, we're going to get 600 agents. We're probably like 240 in a year. Why wouldn't we just bring in there 300 next year? Easy. And then they just, then the market declined because we're more of a newer agent-based team.
Yeah.
Those agents filter out much faster. So and then merging teams, we brought on a couple teams before. 2 were failures. No one sold anything, then they left. So I would say, like, people don't fire fast enough, and that's actually a conversation that's in my circles between. I'm a big part of the Zillow community here. EXP just came from Dallas this week, so a lot of top people do talk about it, but a lot of like newer agents to team building and personal development growth don't think about like cutting things sooner. So the last few years have been really focused on cutting. So I don't know what that looks like for the solo agent or the team leader.
So how do you know when to cut, either a person or a cost? Like, do you have a formula or question you ask yourself now? Like, what do you do to go through that faster?
It's not exactly because I don't run it. So, but the idea is like a 38-day onboarding checklist. Are your agents doing the activities? Are they showing up for certain things? We don't do it that often, but there's been times we send out a team agreement and they just don't sign up for until weeks or a month later, and they say, "Oh, I'm busy at work." It's like your couple signatures get on the team. Right. So now we made that onboarding a little harder. Now we do they have to interview Elias. They have to send us a video why they want to join the team. Then we kind of audit them because they'll shake things out that if they can't even send this video, they can't really be on team. Where they hop on and make sure they open their email, sign their documents. And then for like tools, we're still screwing up to this day. There's tools we signed up for. I just got an annual renewal for Bitly for like $3.99 a year, and I looked at it. We built like 5 links last year. I had this amazing idea to have unique Bitly links to every part of our company, and like I was like, okay, renewed it, nothing happened, kill it. But we tried a couple of new tools last year, one for 8 months, one for 5 months, and it didn't work out. Like, it should have been cut earlier. But when you sign on a tool, give yourself like at least 3 months to try it out, see what the criteria is, who's in charge of looking at that, who's in charge of using it, get agent feedback. So we're still to this day signing for things we don't use, and then we sign up for 2 more things this month we are using very actively. Courted is a great recruiting tool for team leaders. Best dashboard.
Which one?
Metrics. Yeah. So
what's that tool? You just said I can't remember. What was the tool?
Courted.io.
Oh, Courted. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I did this discount for EXP agents too. So between people and tools and whatever things you're doing, audit, like we've actually shut down 4 offices in the last couple of months. We have a Bluetooth key access thing. You can look at the access. It was like barely anyone's using the office, and they say they want people will tell you they want an office, they need this, they need that.
How do you overcome that? Because everyone's like, I want an office. They're like, mother, I love you, but like, I know you're not going to use it. Like, what do you tell people in the initial stages on that?
That's where the mistake is. Like, we're in Hercules because 2 of my agents live that way, and then say, oh, we want an office here. We're going to grow this market. We opened it, like they work from home, like, and then that has happened a couple of times. So now we're cutting. And then like one of my early things was to kind of open offices, kind of dominate my market and take over all the organizations. And I've done that successfully, but now we're kind of downsizing. But audit, you gotta look at data. I think everyone needs more data. I'm a high C, high D, so that's my favorite thing to look at. But a lot of people don't take that as seriously. In our tour locations, like we actually shut down our Sacramento office. We did pretty well at the office with like 60, 80 units, but then it was profitable, but barely. So like, what's the point of having this office if it doesn't make money? And we couldn't grow it the way we wanted to because that market was competitive. Oh yeah, like when you're doing things too, when you're expanding, the brand can only take so far. You need some local leaders. You can't just like have momentum and it works. We cut it. We actually had the agents now going to Regis, and they're actually happy with Regis, like the general spaces. And so is our Daly City office. I was there for a walkthrough yesterday. It's like, well, 3 of you guys use the office. Like I thought 10 of you would be here, or say, oh, we all want it. And then they went to there's another Regis locations or Spaces location there. It looks amazing. Now they're using that. But it's like a lot of learning and failures. We wouldn't like our most dominant office right now to Oakland because half my business is there. But I never dreamt of expanding into the city of Fairview and Stockton. These are secondary markets. But we wouldn't be there had we not grown here and there and so on. Now those are my 2 second and third busiest offices. Actually, I would even say they're busier, to be honest. Like it's just not just based on size. More people are there every day. So And then we were going to shut down the Fairfield office, and then like 10 agents DM and text me, like, hey, we really want to keep this location. I was like, I didn't even know anyone was using it, to be honest, because we have a separate room with the code, so I can't track it. So it's like that thing here. I heard it this week too. Once a year, cut off your credit card and see what comes, and then you have to look at, do I actually want to renew this or not? So I do my own bookkeeping, so I'm pretty good on that. But these two tools slip by just a little bit.
So what you're saying is close down your offices once a year, see who shows up.
Yeah. See what the riot is. Yeah.
But I will say,
man,
something I take away from what you just said, and I echo that. I've shut down 2 offices in the last 2 years. Like you can't just go plant a flag and hope people kind of flock to it, even though if you have the great following you do, because like you got to have those people and the personalities on the ground to keep it all going, right? Like I think that's super important.
It's hard. It's not quite if you build it, they will come thing. Like I thought my brand was strong, and there's these micro markets out here, and I was like, our team's not effective in these markets because these certain brands are really dominant demographically, age, background, culturally, like all kinds of things that are specific to your market. You need to take that into consideration. And I thought I was pretty smart. Also, just man growing like crazy. And I was like, oh, we got this. And then it did. There's a little momentum. And then when the market fizzles out, it really clears out all the, it really makes you look at what actually is effective. Like we have 190 agents right now. Last year, I said we're going to have in this year with 200. So we actually landed where we are at. This year, by the end of the year, I think it might actually be 150 agents. Even though last year we brought in 110 agents, the last 120. This year, I thought we would bring on 80, but it's looking really good right now, like on recruiting. We probably brought in like 15, 20 agents this year, but we lost just as much. So now when agents are leaving the business, it's a lot different feeling because these aren't just complete dead weight 0-2 producers. There's a lot of that too, but now I'm starting to lose people that are like 2-3 deals a year. They're like struggling. Now they're joining other brokers for better splits. We're losing like not bottom of the crop. We're losing like lower mid-tier agents slowly, but we're still bringing in talent.
Yeah, it's hard.
What are you doing about that? What are you doing about that middle loss?
A lot of times we do like my company, we do a quarterly audit of our agents. We sit in the room for like 5-6 hours, setting up our rocks for the quarter, recap. Like we just kind of brain dump. We just know that's just part of what it is. We keep our standards high. We continue to offer what we offer. We're going to increase our per agent productivity we're going to increase our like referral online leads opportunities. So we're bringing in more talent that works. It's funny, like too, I see like a lot of my newest agents come in, they're having really great months and they're going back. Like I saw a couple agents going back to stuff we stopped using last summer, like almost a year ago. They're using these templates with these market updates. So like we phase out because no one's using it, but somehow the newest agents are finding these old templates and bringing it back. They're using it. It's just, I don't know, like we have so much things going on. People kind of take things for granted and they forget like core stuff. And challenge with running such a large company with a lot of new ideas is like, what can we focus on and have the agents be less distracted by?
Well, it's funny.
It's so true.
You had a good point of like, you started something, and what I have found, you start a new product, you do something new that's going to be great for the company, and over time, agents become tone deaf to it, or they're like, hey, that's not really useful, it doesn't work anymore. But the new agent comes in, and all of a sudden they're slinging deals. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, the tool that you taught us on onboarding. And you're like, so how do you remind your agents that have been with you about all the tech that you provide?
So a new tool that we just signed up for. So I don't get paid or anything by it. I just signed up for it. I think it's going to be an amazing tool for us. It's called StackWrap. You know, like how it's like we currently have an intranet, fastagents.com. I have time. I don't have to get off. I don't have anything going on for the next half hour, by the way. Okay. But we have an intranet on fastagents.com as a toolbox of our internal links. But we signed up for this new tool called StackWrap, where it's like a dashboard there. There's an API for everything, and you put your tools. Let's just say we use Slack, your email, your follow-up box, all that, and it's integrated. So what we're trying to do is have a different, and then you can set the dashboard. Hey, this is this is a Zillow team. This is a Stockton team, whatever. And you create the dashboard for them. It's kind of like ESP login Okta, but those, Okta just kind of just opens new browsers for you. But StackWrap is all integrated. Or we're thinking,
love that.
Like we use Agently too. We really like Agently. We have the agents come in, they're newer, then all they see on that dashboard is Agently, here's your 30-day checklist, here's your follow boss, here's your list of things to do. We have a channel for market updates, here's your team meetings. Let's just keep it at that. Okay, so you log in every day, you're also like working inside this dashboard without opening browsers. I have like 30 bookmarks, like with no names on it, like this over the years, but agents, it's just too much. Oh, yeah, we can lock you in as a new agent dashboard, and these are the 5 things you should focus on. We have their stuff, but here's your main stuff that you should look at every day. When you open something, you're not going to fall off the page and something. So I think that's going to really help us get what we need the new agents to do. And then the senior agents don't really, I mean, every senior experienced agent, we had 30 people do over 6 million last year. The experienced agents, they just want to be here. They're in good splits. They can literally go anywhere. We try to make it a happy place for them to be. And like the way we build our company out is we constantly focus on 3/3 of the company. First third, the new agents want, training and let's just keep at that, like training. The mid-tier wants to build their brand. They want systems. They want to get social media. They want some tools. So we get them on that. And the top agents, they're looking for more time. They know how to do more real estate. They just don't, they know what they want to do and they do what they want. But they could also use leverage. So you look at like the Red Book $1 million real estate agent, you come in, you don't need to hire a buyer's agent because there's a whole army of them and they're trained by us. They know how to present. You don't need listing court partners because we have, we're also on the Zillow seller team. You want seller leads, we have it. You need marketing, we have 4 people in our marketing department. They do custom work for you. We have templates for everything. We even have 4 full-time video editors. So the way we saw it is like, if you plug in our company, and out of the almost 800 people I've recruited to my team, no one has left my team to start a team. They see how hard it is. Yeah. And also they see there's no point. Like you come in, you have all these resources. You can kind of be like running your own team without having to, take the time to train the assistants, all that. So I think we continue to build. And then like I heard this week, I think Tom Ferry spoke yesterday. I saw Tom Ferry speak yesterday. You have to reinvent yourself every 18 months. So when we first started a team, we were kind of the fun team. We were hey, we're going to work in COVID team. Next year, we're the Zillow team. Next year, we're the social media team. Next year, I was like, okay, we're just activity based. This market sucks. You cannot do just social media and rely on online leads. And now we're kind of reverting back to a mix of all 3. Like, here's our social. We were the first team to have like a full studio in our office, a 1-button system. I feel like you guys probably have one too. But we built that thing out. We cranked out 2,000 reels in the year. Now you just don't use it as much. Now my other locations, we brought it in, and now they're like, oh, I want to use it. Because social media is like more authentic, because raw content works better. So like we're constantly looking at the company. We're not afraid to like rip things apart, like cancel products, cancel agents, bring new things in all the time. So we're constantly reinventing ourselves all the time.
Man, I love it. Well, and I think going back to what you said, I just want to reiterate because I think it's so important. Like people come to you for training, but they really stay with you for community and recognition, right? They stay because they want the community and they want to be seen. And I think that's so important. I think a lot of teams, maybe they're good at the training piece, but then pretty soon they don't need the training anymore. They might need help here and there, but like they're staying with you because the community and the recognition are being seen.
They also want to be, I've heard many times no one wants to be like me because they see how I work and no one wants to run. And that's how I make kids, so they don't want to be like me. So I'm a great anti-role model. But in our team 3 years ago, California Association of Realtors recognizes 10 rising stars. It's essentially the Rookie of the Year award. There's 200,000 agents, by the way, like 20,000, maybe 10,000, 20,000 agents join every 2 years. 3 of the Rookie of the Years were on our team 3 years ago. Last year, 2 of them were on our team. And then 3 years ago, 2 of the 3 did 25 deals their first year. Last year, our top, the 2 that made it, the agent in the second year, our top agent for my entire company is like a $25 million producer. He's 2 years in. And then he won that award. He won like a real estate news. I forgot, RS Media or something. He's been winning a lot of stuff, but he just puts in the work. So a lot of agents come to company because they see what we can do. Because I learned that from my last company. We can grow top producers. If you come in and you actually plug in what we offer. I'm not just saying that. Literally look at all these people that have done well. Most of my average tenure on the team is probably like 3 years. Is really low. My average age, if I look across the board, is probably around 29 years old. So it's a high energy. I always ask for people for feedback outside my team. There's like your team looking outside is just really high energy and they work really hard. And that's that doesn't explain that's probably less than 10% brokerages out there, I think, when they can say something about the team.
So how do you?
No, I think you created so much FOMO, which is phenomenal, right? Like I think so many people are. I guess here's my challenge, everybody watching this. Like, go watch your content, and like so many people that I coach and see, like they're doing stuff, but they're not sharing it, right? They're not sharing the dinner. They're not sharing the fun thing we did, the rise. Like they're not telling the story well. So I think there's a lot of people that are doing some good stuff behind the scenes, but because they're not sharing that well, they're not attracting the people. And you guys have figured out like do it and talk about doing it and show that we're doing it and show
That's
that we're
how I
having
built
fun.
my entire
Show that we're winning.
business.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of agents kind of model after that. I say whatever is on my mind. That's the kind of outrageous thing sometimes. I do whatever I want, but as long as it's ethical and not illegal. Agents kind of like model that behavior. And some of my agents posting in the line like, I don't get it. I'm not your audience. I was like, this is kind of stupid, but I appreciate it. I respect it because it's for their audience. Yeah, like I look at our top roster all the time. They all do businesses in such completely different ways. It's hard to say that with other, because when you unless you're like a very experienced, tenured, legacy senior agent, you know, where your book business are referrals, and that's how you get your business. I do referrals. But when you're a new agent grinding it out, like you gotta think outside. You gotta be outside the box. Because thinking outside the box is, you know, there's all the ideas are out there already. So our agents are like out there doing different type of property tours. Like they all have their own style on it.
You see that fast tour guy, the speed tour guy? That guy cracked me up.
Those aren't that
Dude,
catchy.
yeah.
They're like fun once in a while.
Yes, they're so fun. So okay,
I
so
saw
here's
video
my one
guys.
question.
George, the other guy, he gets he's like 25 deals a year, 2/3 of his business social media. He's has video editors like fly him into the video. He'll stomp in. He's like Marvel character. So every time his comments are like, "Oh, whoa, what the hell?"
What the hell's happening? All right, if you could slap every team on the country, if you could beat, you kind of whack them upside the head. What's the one thing you would love to go like, I cannot believe you're doing this? Like, you idiots, you're all struggling to build your teams, whatever it is. Like, if you would just like, what's the thing you would love to just tell every team in the country?
I think a team leader, you're an idiot if you think all your agents are going to be successful.
Hey,
Like statistically, Tom Ferriss said yesterday, like 50% of agents are gone in the first year, and then 90% are gone in 5 years. Like it's you can't believe in everyone. You gotta focus on the people who are showing up, and then hard work speaks talent. So if you can nurture the people who you see every day, they're trying to. I've seen it over time. Like maybe out of like 1 every 10 agents that actually if they showed up every single day to every meeting, every training, that they're hopeless. I've come across some hopeless agents. It sucks. It's not just cringe. It's like, man, I feel bad. They're really trying, and it's just not for them.
So it's not for them. Yeah.
So that's kind of question.
And that leads back to just keeping them too long, right? Like I think that's what you're saying is like you just kept them too, like just let them go
Find a
faster.
better
and
home
move.
for them. I mean, if you're a ESP team, find them maybe a different team that's very fit. a lot of especially larger teams too. I see agents leave, and then when they leave, I actually when I have a personal talk with them, say, hey, I think this is a better fit for you to like latch onto a very small team that needs a lot of help. Like we're not a team. We don't try to be a small team. We're very resourceful, large brokerage, a lot of different opportunities and training programs, stuff like that, community. But if you want like hands-on, tight family, that we're not it, because those teams are less successful unless they stay small and continue to stay small. But they're on this growth path. That's more challenging.
So I've got a question about, because you bring on a lot of agents, and I feel like, I mean, I'm nowhere near the size you are, but the agents I bring on, and statistically, a lot of them aren't going to make it, not because of your success, but just because they don't have all the traits in them to be successful. And the main one, there's just grit to get past most of it. So my question is, if you're willing to share, how do you insulate yourself as a business from people that get in and try? Because all the tech you're providing is not cheap. Like it costs money. So do you insulate yourself at all? Do you make them put some skin in the game to get started? How do you do it?
A lot of tools they don't get added to until they finish their checklist. Like they can't touch our CRM. They've done like a fire training. They can't get certain tools unless they open this, or like the way we did onboarding. At one point it was wild. We made like 100 people. We all share one spreadsheet and just put in what you did. And you can imagine that mess of columns. And then later on, we did like, here's your checklist, here's your checklist, but then people would be scattered. But now we were using C2. We stopped a while ago, but we use like Monday. We have these like doors. You finish this before you open this next set of things and so on. So we continue to kind of fine tune that. And then we moved our training. So we're recruiting way less people now to like a 2-day onboarding in person, like a whole deep dive and cool stuff. That's worked kind of well, but we phased out because we stopped working with the person that was managing that, because like, okay, not really necessary. So we tried different things, but I would say how to get like track it. Like you can use Sisu to put in like, did you go to meetings today? Did you make 5 calls today? Did you send SOI videos? So just make it very heavy activity based. A lot of teams have hello weeks. I've done like 3 really successful teams where they come in where you have to. We're actually doing that with our Zillow team, where you have to make like 50, 100 calls in the database before we let you in the program. If you're not comfortable making 50, 100 calls, you're not going to be successful.
Not gonna do it.
As a new agent. So we're not the team for you. So I would say front load a lot of requirements, like be harder up front, so you deal with less issues later.
So
If you're
what's
soft
your
on them all the
recruiting that
time, you're,
makes it
you're gonna just give yourself headache.
Yeah.
What's your recruiting script that makes it attractive enough for them to want to do that? Like how long is your recruiting conversation or process where
I
they're
don't do
excited
them
to
anymore,
go through
but
the
they're
hell?
usually like half an hour.
Okay. So
Yeah,
half an hour, they're in. You're like, this is the best place ever. And if you don't join, now you're going to make 150 calls. Like, how does that go?
Not sure how to answer that. We deep dive what their goals are and what we offer and see if we're a good fit for them. The thing about recruiting is don't just quote me just this part, but we'll recruit almost anyone.
This is the clip.
Yeah, you just like
We'll
from everyone
take
you talk to, every team
Kenny
leader.
Fast. There we go.
Even Tom Ferry is like, you just don't know who's gonna be successful. Some people need to like break out their shell. They need that like that shift. Something happens, a deal, then they get that drive. So you just don't know who's gonna be successful. I mean, we're very smart people, they just don't show up. So we'll bring on anyone and then track them from there. But track a lot early on to see how it goes. And another reason I think why no one has started teams is so we call it the advisee program. Strictly our mentorship program is strictly contracts. It's strictly the listing agreement and purchase contract. Nothing else you have to cover with your mentee. The failure rate is so high that I think it gives our mentors a good taste of team building. Because here we're giving you someone and they're gonna get paid on it, and we get all the training. And you can't even motivate these people where they don't have to train them. So yeah, so like if you're gonna be a team leader, like don't even be a team leader. As you like anyone that's thinking about being team leader or aspire to, I would 100% recommend you sign up to be a certified mentor, because then ESP will just connect you with people in your market randomly. You always want to hop on Zoom call with them, because I've gotten it's random. So I've got some very strange people. You hop on them, see, you fill it out, you become a mentor. If you can't even mentor someone, you shouldn't even hire a buyer's agent, because then that's like a marriage.
I love that. Yes.
Mentees, and it doesn't work out. Like if you haven't ever hired an assistant before, you don't have SO operating practices, you don't have a list of how things work. Like I've gotten complaints from other people about other people's assistant about their team leaders. Like they don't give me enough work, they don't tell me what to do. Like, and then it's always last minute. So if you're not organized, being a mentor, hiring an assistant is a great way to try that before you kind of take on more. And then when you're bringing up buyers agent, their lives, their financial lives and career is kind of in your hands. And I don't know, I always like think when people join real estate, they said, I'm my own boss. We realize like we're all terrible bosses. You have no experience as a real estate boss. You don't even, your boss doesn't even wake up on time to tell you to wake up. Like, so like people, the freedom of this business is terrible for some people that are unstructured.
It really is. Yes. No, it's so hard. I love that, like giving the opportunity and then having them like bring on almost anybody in a sense, put them through hell a week or hello weekend, whatever you want to call it. And see what it is, because I remember I was in a big group one time, and I think it was somebody said, how many of you would have known that your top producer in a sense, and nobody would have known, right? They were all surprised more or less, but bring them in and give them the opportunity to show you who they are. And when they show you who they are, either keep them or fire them based on what they showed you. So
if you're a smart team, do like, we did that with the Zillow team. Like, so Zillow is only 15% of our business, by the way. I say a lot, but it really, that program like really helps you understand the metrics. We track them on every single thing. You have to be in 2 out of 4 meetings. So like gives them a lot of structure that carries on to other business. But like there's a successful team locally. They do weekly pipeline checks. If you have a small team, you can totally do, you can honestly even do 10 minutes. You're not going to take 10 minutes, like 10, 15 minute pipeline checks, one-on-one coaching. A team of 20 is pretty large. And then that takes you 300 minutes. That's only 5-6 hours out of your entire week. You block them back to back, use Calendly, they book you show up. Like, because your team is, because Elias, my partner, does that. But you're small, you got to plug in and tap in more. And like one of the reasons we were so good at retaining our top agents, we truly have relationships with them. That was one thing we focused on last year. Stop trying to recruit as many. We stopped holding mixers and as many events just for sake of recruiting. And our new agents, our senior agents felt that like, hey, I actually know everyone's name now. Not a lot of people are joining. They feel more tuned in with the leadership team. Like you can't see I have a bike. I play a lot of video games, probably at least 6-7 hours a week. And then like 2 of my top 10 agents, I'm playing video games with them like a couple hours a week. And then my other crowd and their crew, I cycle like 10-15 hours a week. I bike with them and their crew, like then I had lunches and dinners and at the group, maybe go out for a happy hour. So like you got to form real relationships with them. And my business partner he's in Stockton, an hour and a half away. He has friends over there. They invite them for house for dinner. So that's not the thing I'm great at. Is why I can go bike and game. I'm not inviting people to my home. So we kind of attack our agent database a different way. We really try to have really good relationships with everyone.
I think that's huge. So huge. Yep.
So I think it's interesting because what you were saying earlier, and let me think how to put this intelligently. You're looking at helping the agents you have, which is a fond idea, right? Of helping them do more business. So many times we're stuck on recruiting instead of retaining or getting results. Like, because again, you take those 2 or 4 deal producers and help them double their business, which is not much. You'll have more deals and less people and less headaches, right? Is that part of the strategy too?
Yeah. And we do it organically. The experienced agents might want more lead opportunities. We have other referral accounts too. I'm not gonna mention them all, like especially with lenders and stuff. So we try to hook them up on deals. I still do production. I do like 12 deals a year, and I try to add like a person. I think we worked with six different agents last year. Then we teach them how to leverage, and they work with new agents. And when new agents are struggling or they have an appointment, and they're not confident, they really shouldn't be overly confident. They're new. Then say, hey, I think you should work with this person on that. Like I had a new agent, she's done like 2 deals. Online lead came in for $10 million. Like, dude, you need to reach out to this person or this person, interview them. The team knows we're always constantly looking out for them. And they're not going to get the same type of opportunities at other brokerages because we're like really hands-on. Most companies locally, an average company probably has like 1 or 2 sales manager overlooking 400 agents. Pretty common. Your Compass, your BHG, your Keller Williams locally are all like that. So, but we have 200, we have 4 leadership, and we're all plugged in. So and then even after our staff meeting one thing I think you hear, like we talk about our agents a lot. So we understand all of them. Even after our weekly staff meeting from 9:30 to 10, a couple of us, the leadership team and a couple of our high level staff, we sit, especially the onboarding team, we sit down and talk about new agents coming in and exiting and talk about like red flags. Like we had 2 red flags showing this week. So we're keeping a close eye on that. I'll just leave it at that. And then like people exiting, why they leave, what they say on that. So because people have different relationships with different people. My brother is a really good source of information because he's kind of like he handles like our offices or restocking events. He has lunch with people all the time. So he's like their friend, a lot more like their friend. He's not, because he's not in leadership, but he's giving us a scoop on different things about people's family and health. So we try to like have a good like understanding of people's situation all the time. So when they do something like, oh, that sucks, or oh, they're bad. So it just has to make sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, cool, man.
What I was just curious. Is there any other things you heard last week that really hit you, or you walked away with that were brilliant when you walked away from Dallas?
What's the last part? It kind of
just anything else you got from your time in Dallas that was real that you wrote down or was good.
I've seen Tom Ferry dozens of times, but yesterday was one of my favorite presentations he delivered. I think because maybe he wasn't talking to a real estate large audience, right. But I didn't realize how even well connected he was. He was saying I'm kind of over the place, but he met the person that created. He was doing like audio MP3 sent out to email newsletters for 3 years, and he met some guy who was like, dude, you need to get on YouTube. And then immediately he started a YouTube channel next day. And then he met some coach or a guy, and then gave him an idea, and then he within 2 years like spent $2 million and hired 18 staff and 6 coaches. So I didn't realize how fast he was implementing. When he met someone, he gave us like kind of like chronological order of his history and becoming a coach. But every time something was in front of him, he immediately took action. I was like, wow. Like, cause I do that, I think at a pretty high level, but he has more resources and more time, more money. So he took action very quickly and constantly, I could say every time something happened, it shifted his business in a whole different direction.
Wow.
So
how do you take action so fast when you already have a full plate?
So for right now, when I go like 20 something conferences a year. I've been to like 4 or 5 this year already. I know it's scary, but right now, if I see a good idea, I'll put it on our Slack channel with my leadership team. Hey, can we look at this in Q2? Can we look at this in Q3? And so on. And before I just dump everything in the market channel, hey, copy this thing that this person did and so on. So when you have good staff, now the staff, my leadership has come their own departments. So every time I have an idea, I don't use any tracker or checklist thing because I put in Slack and it gets done by someone. But this is years in the making. Yeah. Like example of something we're working on, we haven't yet. And we actually talked about it yesterday at the production. We whiteboard 2 things. One of the topics was AI. One thing I want to have my team use more is learning to use more AI because they're faster. Yeah. Some examples are having like AI read all the disclosures and give you a summary of certain things, or putting all your HOA docs in there and then you prompt it with questions you want answered, parking spaces, floor requirements, balconies, whatever in there. But then other teams are using it at pretty high level. I took a lot of pictures. It's actually on Instagram. Just don't remember right now. Having you write listing descriptions, Oh, there's a tool called Fixer. I just signed up. ESP is actually going to let icons have it and all that for free. So I only send out like 70 emails a day. It's a really proud stat I've had for years. It sounds crazy. I have to get 3,000 emails. I get 100 emails a day and send out 7. So
wow.
But then this Fixer thing, every time an email comes in, now like it organizes like, is this a notification you should look at? Is this something meeting related? Or is this something you should reply to? And every like 5 emails came in, it creates a draft in your outbox, and it says draft, so you can't accidentally send it.
Yeah.
And it gives you 2 options. Normally I don't reply to emails. I'm looking at this like, well, I would have said that. Like, so Glenn Sanford actually sampled it, and then he's bringing it to ESP agents.
Hell
like,
yeah.
This thing has probably been the best tool I've seen in a long time. And if you sign up, it's like $25 a month or something. But right now we're ESP Icon and Cappers are getting for free. So AI is like, you need to use AI. I don't know how, like for us, it's hard to explain to like general population of agents, because we use it for our marketing. We create pictures and turn them into videos. We do a lot of like cool video ads. I did this newsletter theme. Like 1 week it could literally be Pokemon. It sounds stupid, but it could be Pokemon. It could be leprechauns on there. It could be Disney characters. It could be winter. It could be Chinese New Year. Like we use AI to create a lot of graphics and animations and videos. So we do a lot of we do a lot of marketing to our own team. It's really fun to open newsletters, and there's no one else does that.
Interesting. Well, why is it fun for them to open newsletters? Like, what does that mean?
They're cute.
What are you doing?
They're like fun and cute and themed. Like the agents' headshots are like moving in different ways, and because they're built to the theme of the week. Like recently, it was like at Valentine's Day, so there's a lot of like cupids and stuff flying around, and I don't know. We have a lot of fun. Oh, and more recently, we started recognizing work anniversaries every month. We recognize birthdays, a whole list. We send out every first week of the month newsletter. We send a whole birthday list congratulating. Oh, we use this is a lot. We use Postable too to send birthday cards. We have a database of our agents, and Molly on our team sends out a birthday card every single month for people. So there's a lot of stuff that's been built out a little over the years. So there's like 20 things happening right now that I don't know about, but this is where you have good staff, and then the staff has assistants, and they're in their own workflow. It all comes on, and none of this stuff any other team does in my market, I think, at that scale. But because it's all semi-automated, we can do it.
Yeah. Well, and I think for you, like quick adoption and doing the hard shit when nobody was watching, right? So like my guess and listening to your story over the years, like there was a lot of days where you were, in the middle of the night building out the spreadsheet, doing the tracker, doing the right. So like people go like, what's the magic pill? And I think for a lot of people, the magic pill is doing it faster and doing the deep hard work that nobody gives you high fives for. That may or may not pay off down the road, but like doing the hard stuff, late at night when nobody's watching, building the systems and the checklists and all that stuff is what's so powerful.
Like the newsletters I did for 5 years straight. I used to be famous for it. You can barely find it out, but it took me an average 6 hours a week. I'd be at home and I used to document it. Like I'm creating these like really cute newsletters, and I stopped doing that because it took too long. And then now like my virtual assistants, years, like talking about 5-6 years later, now they're doing it. I was like, oh, cool. Like,
yes,
it all came from, it's still essentially that DNA.
Yeah, absolutely. Kenny, I appreciate you taking the time to be here, dude, and take time out of your schedule and share. Honestly, like what Wayne said earlier, you're just a great ambassador for the Realtor brand, and obviously for EXP, you're well known, not just to EXP, but the whole entire country. Thank you for doing it. Stay in front of and dropping just nuggets and technology. It's really reassuring to know stuff's working and that people like you are out there. So I can't thank you enough for being here, and I hope you have as much success as you want this year. I think you can have more than you want, so I hope you have as much as you want. So thanks for being here, dude.
Thank you.